Thence we sailed onward, stricken at heart, yet glad as men saved from death, albeit we had lost our dear companions. And we came to the isle Aeaean, where dwelt Circe of the braided tresses, an awful goddess of mortal speech, her own sister to the wizard Aeaetes. Both were begotten of Helios, who gives light to all men, and their mother was Perse, daughter of Oceanus. There on the shore we put in with our ship into the sheltering haven silently, and some god was our guide. Then we stepped ashore, and for 2 days and 2 nights lay there, consuming our own hearts for weariness and pain. But when now the fair-tressed dawn had brought the full light of the 3rd day, then did I seize my spear and my sharp sword, and quickly departing from the ship, I went up into a place of wide prospect, if haply I might see any sign of the labor of men and hear the sound of their speech. So I went up a craggy hill, a place of outlook, and I saw the smoke rising from the broad-wayed earth in the halls of Circe, through the thick coppice and the woodland. Then I mused in my mind and heart whether I should go and make discovery, for that I had seen the smoke and flame. And as I thought thereon, this seemed to me the better counsel, to go first to the swift ship and to the sea banks, and give my company their midday meal, and then send them to make search. But as I came and drew nigh to the curved ship, some god even then took pity on me in my loneliness, and sent a tall, antlered stag across my very path. He was coming down from his pasture in the woodland to the river to drink, for verily the might of the sun was sore upon him. And as he happily came up from out of the stream, I smote him on the spine in the middle of the back, and the brazen shaft went clean through him, and with a moan he fell in the dust, and his life passed from him. Then I set my foot on him, and drew forth the brazen shaft from the wound, and laid it hard upon the ground, and let it lie. Next I broke withies and willow twigs, and wove me a rope a fathom in length, well twisted from end to end, and bound together the feet of the huge beast, and went back to the ship, bearing him across my neck, and leaning on a spear, for it was no wise possible to carry him on my shoulder with one hand, for he was a mighty quarry. And I threw him down before the ship, and roused my company with soft words, standing by each man in turn. Friends, for all our sorrows, we shall not yet awhile go down to the house of Hades, ere the coming of the day of destiny. Go to then, while as yet there is meat and drink in the swift ship, and let us take thought thereof, that we be not famished for hunger. Okay, so many thoughts continuing from yesterday into today. I'm going to start with this thought. Maybe I'm going to just stick with me here. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in a second. But maybe Odysseus, not a great leader, not a great captain. If his crew keeps thinking he's unfair and need to steal his treasure, thereby opening that wallet and getting blown all to hell, and he's constantly losing ship after ship after ship through, like, simple decisions if he thought through, like, he's dwindling his crew fast here. Now, the benefit of the doubt I'm going to give him is he did just spend 10 years in the Trojan War and is in the midst of spending 10 years getting home. So I can barely get through a week without feeling exhausted to my marrow. I can't imagine he's thinking super clearly right now. But after losing a ship or two of company to the land of the giants, what was the last island they were on? They were there so quickly, it almost... I question why that was included at all. He comes to this new island, Circe's island, and Aeaea, and he's about to do the same dang thing. He's going to the tallest peak to look out while he sends some crew searching about. But it seems like he pauses and takes a slightly different route this time. One that leads him to get a big old feast for the entire crew, which I'm sure they're going to be happy about, provided he does share the choicest meats from it. If you're clocking Homer's technique, or the conglomerate of authors called Homer, we are getting introduced to Circe through her genealogy before she appears. That's the way that they typically introduce, particularly a god, any of the gods specifically, establish their significance, their divine heritage, before you meet them. That way you understand the importance and gravity of the encounter. I flagged the term mortal speech that Odysseus attributes to Circe here. I don't 100% know what that means yet. I flagged that to do further research when we actually meet Circe. Curious who is sending the stag. I'm going to guess it's Athena, but it seems like an Artemis thing to do. But she seems like maybe she'd want to protect the animals in the forest. TBD on who sent the stag. But I got a little bit of research for y'all. As we're talking about Circe's lineage, she is the sister to the wizard Aeaea. They were the children of Helios, the god of light, or the sun. I'm pretty sure it's light. Helios and Perse. And not a lot on who Perse is. However, connecting to our Theseus episodes on the Patreon, it does say that she is the mother also of Pasiphae. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Who is the wife of King Minos, who gives birth to the Minotaur. The Minotaur being the labyrinthian beast that Theseus has to fight. But that's not even the research that I did that I wanted to tell you about. Perse is the daughter of Oceanus, and something caught my eye when I first did this research. I like to look up whenever a new god is introduced, who they are, what their deal is, and the first thing I saw was that Oceanus is the, quote, great world-encircling river in Greek cosmology. And so I was like, well, wait a minute, what's that all about? How does that differ from Poseidon? And here's what I found out, that Oceanus is actually a Titan, the older generation, before the Olympians existed, the ones they fought famously. But that specifically, this is a good reminder, and it also kind of blew my mind, that this book was written, this story was written, when the world was still considered flat, or like imagined as a disc by people. And in Homer's mythology, and maybe other, but there's no way to know, Oceanus is the river that flows around the edge of the world. So it's separate from the ocean, or the seas as they call it, that Poseidon rules over. This is specifically a river going around the perimeter of the disc world. And I think for one of our big episodes, let me look here. We did 100 not that long ago. Oh my God, that was almost 50 episodes ago. Jesus Christ. Maybe for episode 200, I will do a deep dive on the difference between gods and titans. That feels fun. Or maybe I'll do that as a bonus episode. Why don't you reach out to me and let me know what you would like? I always love to hear from you all. You can get in touch with me over at the Patreon, patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Not going to sell you anything now, but if you did want to reach out, you can always reach me there. Okay, that is today's episode. Odysseus and his crew are on Aeaea, Circe's island. We shall find out what happens after they feast on the stag. Join me here tomorrow. Until then. Okay, bye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.